It's so funny being live. Apparently, it's too dark in my room for you to get very good, clear images, but that's okay. We don't really need clarity. No, we do. Clarity is always useful. Um, I am super grateful to be here, super grateful to be on earth, super grateful for everything that there is in my life and in yours, and super grateful for all of the different ways that we get to lift each other up, empower each other, and love one another in this incredible adventure of life. Um, it is Saturday night, and I am reeling and rolling, right? Floating on a beautiful spinning blue ball that is just going through space at some zillions of miles an hour. I don't remember I could look it up. I don't remember the exact speed that we are traveling at any given moment, but sometimes when I am sitting still, I feel how fast we're all moving. And I kind of love that. And it kind of stresses me out. And, I'm totally human about all of it. I decided to come in today just because I have had a really busy experience the past couple of weeks. I had a birthday. Some of you know that. I turned 47 on Tuesday, the 21st of February. And I had a whole experience that I wasn't expecting to have. 2 days before that, I got a stomach flu that almost wiped me out. It felt like it wiped me out, and had a whole experience with that as well. It was a virus. I passed it on to my grandchildren, and then they passed it on to their mother, and it was just a whole 10 days of dealing with the effects of that. And not super fun, but also not devastating, and didn't end the world, didn't end our lives, but it certainly did feel like it was going to a couple of different times. And I had bragged about how considerate my grandchildren were, never um, dumping their bodily fluids on me, and somehow during the course of that whole experience, I can only now say that my granddaughter has never peed on me. So I am okay with that. But it wasn't. It wasn't the way that I expected my birthday to go. But my birthdays almost never go the way that I expect them to. I've had some really great birthdays in my life, and I've had some really crap birthdays in my life. So um, I can't say that any of them went exactly the way I expected them, except for maybe the one where I expected absolutely nothing to happen, and I made sure that nothing happened. Um, but anytime I got my hopes up, it never turned out the way that I wanted it to. And so this year, when I didn't get my hopes up and had just was still recovering from a flu or whatever, some sort of stomach virus that really was horrible. Um, I the people who own the house where I live, they are both here or they were both here visiting. The wife has since gone home, and she is such a love. And her stepmom was also visiting, and they're both a little bit older than me. She's not a lot older than me, but her stepmom was um, also had a birthday the day before Alma's. Yeah, so on the 12th of February, she turned 81, I think. And I don't think you're ever going to know her name. I hope I'm not. Anyway, I love them both, and I'm super grateful. You may not know this about me, but I love everybody. And some people, I just get to actually know them in person and love them personally, and directly. The rest of you that I don't get to know in person, I do love you. And I even love you directly, just not necessarily in a face-to-face. I know who you are. I can see things in you. But the thing is, even that, I see things in you. I see things in you that you might not see in yourself, even from here, even from this great distance of, we've never been in the same room, or because we're all here on the same planet, doing this thing called living our lives. And I think that I've lived a pretty full and exciting life, even though I'm only 47. Anyway, what I was trying to tell you about was my awesome birthday. So I hadn't eaten since Saturday. And so it's Tuesday now, and it's my birthday, and I have a lot of things going on. Taking, it was the second day of the Seducing Abundance course that was offered by Alicia Holmes. Super amazing, super incredible, super highly recommend. Anytime that you get to work with Alicia Holmes, please take the opportunity. She has so much to offer, and her movement is good stuff. She is definitely creating generational wealth for Black families through empowering women of color. And so not just Black families, but women of color. So all of us out here who maybe are underprivileged or have been marginalized in many, many different ways, and how she's teaching us how to just step into our power. And she's part of a movement, she's part of a group of people, she knows people who know people, we are all here being a part of this same movement, but she has this wonderful way of empowering us to remember to educate ourselves, to remember to think outside of the box, remember that we are way more capable than we've ever given ourselves credit for, believe me. And back to my birthday. So the wife of the couple who own the house where I live made me an amazing Lilikoi cake with Lilikoi frosting and deliciousness. And it was all gluten-free, which I think is awesome. And unexpected, and an awesome gluten-free cake. So that's three awesome gluten-free birthday desserts that I've had this year. And I don't necessarily I don't feel any way about gluten-free or not, but I have family members who have celiacs, and I have family members who are sensitive to it. And I can understand why we are trying to switch out of doing things the old way and trying some new things. And I certainly do not envy anyone who has celiacs. It is not fun. And I'm super grateful that the world has changed as much as it has in the past 20 years to really embracing the gluten-free lifestyle that's out there. There's a whole story. There's a story and a story and a story in every single statement anyone ever makes. It's so beautiful and extraordinary and wild and completely difficult for a person like me to stay focused, or I don't know, is it? I don't know. Not really. I can stay focused if I choose to. However, there's just so much to say, and all of the different things that I'm saying are a part of the story. Which means that I'm going to go back to telling you that it was really lovely to be celebrated. It was interesting to have people singing to me multiple times in the morning before we had cake first. So the first thing that I had after 2 days of not eating at all, or a little bit more than 2 days of not eating at all, and closer to 72 hours of no food. I had cake for breakfast on my birthday, and I would highly recommend all the time, anytime, as I like to say, because I read it somewhere along the way, life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. And I totally agree. And maybe that was at Cafe Xenon in Eugene in 1994. Who knows? But here we are. It was my birthday, and that happened. And then I went to the 2:00, although it was 7:00 at their time, session of Seducing Abundance, and I was treated to somebody saying out loud. I typed in the chat that it was my birthday, and I felt so honored to be. I felt honored, so honored every single day that I was in that room, in that group with those amazing women. There were like more than 90 women in all of the days of the event, which, it started out with like 110 or maybe 112, 15, something like that. And by the end, it was still 90 women. I have not had that experience with a lot of the classes that I take, with a lot of the opportunities that I take advantage of. A lot of times it might even go down to like 50% before the end, or even less, maybe with some, but actually probably not less than 50%, but who knows? It certainly did not have a major drop off like some of the times that I've been in these groups. But I was so honored, and I typed it in the chat to celebrate my birthday, and to have all of these things happen in this current state of my being was such a treat and such a treasure. So somebody read aloud my post on the thing, and so a lot of people wished me a happy birthday through the Zoom room, and so I felt like I was being celebrated across the continent, across the globe. I felt like I was being celebrated, which, I mean, come on, who doesn't like to be celebrated? I certainly didn't for a very long time. I certainly didn't even want to be seen for a very long time, and I would not have allowed myself to be celebrated on any sort of scale. But it was really super fun, and that brings me to telling you why I was telling you the whole story. What I learned about myself is that all of these changes, all of this transformation that I've been going through, this work that I'm doing in order to become the person that I'm here to be, in order to stand in my power as a woman and stand in my power as a person who has experienced some of the ugly and some of the extraordinary, and the in between of all of it, and how moved I am on a regular basis to love even more deeply. I wouldn't have been able to do what I did on Tuesday a year ago. In fact, a year ago on my birthday, I was in a much different state of being, completely dysregulated, no self-control, no real self-awareness, no real understanding of how, I was beginning to understand how what we refer to as PTSD was affecting my body, and how it was that, coming from that state of having what is often in the industry called post-traumatic stress, chronic post-traumatic stress, because I've definitely had chronic post-traumatic stress, but I've done a lot of work, a lot of awareness, a lot of paying attention to my body, and a lot of paying attention to my emotional state and my feeling state, and how like I can have these feelings and not have them control the way that I am. To have made this much progress in 1 year is way more than I had expected, and way more than I even dreamed possible. But here I am, on video, live on YouTube, with nobody watching, thank goodness. But I'm trying something new, and so I think I'm really comfortable with nobody watching, and eventually I'll be comfortable with who knows however many people watching as well, and I'll probably have a little bit more clarity and a little bit more of an idea of what I'm trying to say, and of what people might need to hear, and how and how the whole purpose of me doing this is to get comfortable with giving you the gift of knowing that you can have the life of your dreams, or a life beyond your wildest dreams, and not in any sort of whatever flaky, imaginary, I'm talking about really, truly living in your body and loving every minute of your life. because that's all this is about, right? That's all that manifesting is. That's all that any of these, like, living your dreams is being so incredibly comfortable with who you are, that everything that you have is perfect, that everything, and you can make more. You can do whatever you want because you have the power. I have the power to do whatever it is that I want. And yes, it is going to take me some time to get comfortable being a gazillionaire, but I'm going to be a gazillionaire because I have these ideas about how things should go. And I do believe that I'm the person that I came here to be today. And that is something that I didn't even imagine, like, I don't know. I guess I just always knew that there was more, right? Like, and I still don't know exactly what it is. And when I say I'm going to be a gazillionaire, I'm already a gazillionaire. Have you seen this planet? Have you ever looked at the stars? We live here. We live here. We live here. And we get to see this, and we get to, like, oh, you have no idea all of the beauty that I get to see. And then I get to have these two beautiful grandchildren and their incredible mother, and I get to see all of it. And oh, I didn't tell you, my niece called me. I have 3 beautiful nieces, and, well, I have 4 beautiful. How many? I have a lot of nieces, and I have a lot of nephews. I have a lot more nice nieces and nephews than I usually give credit to. Um, they call me Auntie here. I love it. At first, I was a little taken aback. That woman called me Auntie. But you know what? It's a sign of respect. Do I deserve to be respected? I asked myself. And guess what? Today I know, because of the choices that I've made in my life and because of the choices that I continue to make in my life, I do deserve respect. I didn't always. And fortunately, I went through those horrible experiences, or those experiences. I'm not going to call them horrible, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. They're just experiences that I had, and I know that they weren't beneficial to everybody that I encountered, and they certainly did not get me here faster, right? And I still have a lot of unlearning to do and rewiring. And that is why I am trying these things, like putting myself out here and saying, yeah, I used to be totally messed up and insane and crazy and completely dysregulated, and my body didn't know how to do anything. And I certainly would have started crying a year ago if somebody had tried to sing me happy birthday. And, like, this year when it all happened, I just felt so loved. And it was such a different thing to allow myself to feel loved by external sources. And what's that going to be like when I allow myself to feel loved by all of the people that I love? What's it going to be like for you when you allow yourself to be loved by all of the people who love you? What's it going to be like when that's a global phenomenon? When we all know that we are loved deeply, profoundly loved, and that we serve a purpose. Whatever that purpose is, it's entirely up to each and every one of us. I mean, sure, there's a purpose. Whether or not we decide to take it is entirely a choice that we get to make. And for me personally, I do choose. I choose to pursue my highest purpose. I don't even know what that is. It continues to reveal itself. It continues to be in the moments of breath that I take, in the moments of, yes, I will be here and I will not panic because my granddaughter woke up in the middle of the night and vomited all over me, including in my hair. I will just comfort her and wash her face, and I will move the bedding, and I will create a comfortable space for her to rest until she feels better. And then I will tend to all of the things that I need to tend to. Although I did wash my hair and wash myself off right after I washed her face, because I don't think that I could have done without. But I didn't panic, and I didn't act the fool, and I didn't, like, I just tended to the needs of a small person. And does that make me a saint or a good person or whatever, or a bad person? Like, no, it doesn't. It just makes me somebody who showed up for somebody who I love that was in need. And I feel like if that's my highest purpose, so be it. And I will continue to do that. And I will continue to be this. And I will continue to do the best that I can at being this. And with that, love you all. I'm going to head out and say goodnight and be all of the things that I am going to be this evening. It's 9:00 here, so I am guessing that most of you are out enjoying your Saturday night. Certainly not at home watching YouTube. Now I'm just being all like weird because I'm weird. I'm weird, and I'm normal, and I have a candle, and y'all are beautiful, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful that I get to love you, and I'm grateful that we are all here on this planet with all of this beautiful and wild weather and wild experiences and all of the everything. And yeah, I'm still pretty isolated from the rest of the real world. I read the news, I pay attention, but I keep myself to myself for the most part. And it's mostly just me and grandkids and daughter. And then the people who own this house have been here, and they're going to be gone, but some of them are going to stay for a little bit longer, and then some more new people are going to come. And there's always that, right? There's always going to be more new people. I have got to figure this one thing out. I really need to figure. One of the reasons I need to figure out how to be, as they say in AA, self-supporting through my own contributions. So if any of y'all have any good ideas as to how I can do that, let me know. If any of you know people who want to hang out with somebody who wants to support them and encourage them and empower them and coach them in ways that she can, let me know. Let them know about me. I'm going to keep showing up and keep trying to do new things and be as present as I possibly can in my life in every single day and every single moment. And I'm going to keep breathing, which I may not have done quite enough during this video, but love you all.